What's up guys, Jody Dean here, Mr. Hunting the Dead. Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a dybbuk box. The reason for making a dybbuk box is to tie an entity to something, which most of the time the entity's already tied to something, and that's why you're going to make a dybbuk box. Say you've come across an item that you feel is haunted, that has an attachment. What a lot of people will do, a lot of witches, a lot of warlocks like myself, they'll take that item, they'll put it in a box, they'll put some salt around it, they'll do some spells or some prayer working, and then they'll seal that box and they'll bury it far, far away. A lot of people skip a lot of these steps, or else they go back and they reverse this whole thing. A lot of people think when they open the dybbuk box that an entity is just flying out of it, and now all of a sudden you release this ghost that's just swarming around. That's not the case. The reason for burying these boxes is to keep the entity tied to the box and burying it again far, far away. If you have the dybbuk box in your possession, the witch's box, which by the way we'll get to that in a second, if you have the dybbuk in your possession, the entity is going to be in your possession. It doesn't matter if you open that box or not. Sometimes when we open them, they know that that object is possibly going to come out, and that's what they're truly attached to. So that's why shit may turn up a notch. Now going back to the witch's box, a lot of people call them dybbuk boxes. I think the correct term would be a witch's box, because a lot of the time this is something witches have been doing forever. This isn't something that Jewish people just started doing in the 40s, which a lot of people online seem to think. This is something that's been going on forever. Witches have been sealing things in boxes and jars for as long as the times go back. So this is something I do regularly. I'll seal curses in there. I'll seal love spells, money spells, wealth, health, whatever the case may be, and I'll bury them and I'll let them do their thing, because a lot of times when you just put these items nearby, you're constantly thinking about, I wonder if it's working. You can't do that. You have to know in your mind this is working. You have to see it working and believe that it's unfolding as you're just going about your life. When you worry about something too much, you usually mess it up. So this is really simple, guys. I'm going to show you how to do it. I got the perfect box, I got some wax, I got some salt, and I'm going to show you how I would make a dybbuk box. Okay, so right now I got some wax going here in a pot on the stove. I filled the pot up about a little more than quarter of the way. You get it bubbling, you put the jar of wax in the middle, and it takes a while for it to break down, but you want to liquefy it so you can make sure that you get a nice coat and everything's coated on your box. You want to make sure that it's really sealed. I mean, or else what's the point of doing this? Alright guys, so I'm aware that everybody probably doesn't have an altar with everything that they could possibly need like I do. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and grab a few things that I'm going to use to help make sure that we keep that negative at bay with the dybbuk box. Alright, I got a couple different kinds of mugwort here, but it really doesn't matter. Mugwort's used for so many things, guys, but a lot of people love to use it for astral projections, for more intense dreams. You can smoke some of this stuff and it will really take you off into a wonderland of sweet nightmares. What I'm going to use it for is to keep the negative at bay. You can actually take a little pinch of this stuff and put a pinch at each corner of your property, covering the four corners of your home, and it will help keep negative away. I'm going to put a couple pinches of this in the dybbuk box. I think we'll take some holy water. I think we'll take some witch's grass. And right here, this is one of my own personal creations right here. These are witch's burrs that are also used for keeping negative away. And I loaded them. They're called blood burrs. This is my own thing right here with my own sigil. These are picked from my backyard. These grow rapidly in my backyard. I have several sweet gum trees, which the correct term for these is sweet gum balls. But these are used in many medicinal purposes. Can't even talk today. And I loaded them personally with my own blood, as well as wax that I charged before loading them. So we're going to throw maybe one or two of these in the box as well. Now I think it's very important that I tell you guys before I make this box here, what I'm sealing inside of it doesn't need to be sealed inside of it, but it does create an awesome benefit as well as an effect. what's going to happen is I'm going to take a voodoo doll that I actually have tied to an individual that is just really been hurting a lot of people out there for years. He's a mean guy and he really deserves to have a curse put on him. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this voodoo doll, I'm going to put it inside the box, and I'm going to seal it. What this is going to do is this is going to add to the effects of what already has been happening to him. This is going to make him feel boxed in his life. He's going to constantly feel like he's boxed in. As you can hear, my neighbors are shooting. That's all we do around here is shoot, shoot, shoot. But he's going to feel boxed in. He's going to feel very claustrophobic if he doesn't already have claustrophobia. And it's not going to be comfortable, not at all. Alright, so here's the box that I'm going to seal the item in, and I'm going to seal the box itself. I think when it's all said and done, I might very well put this dybbuk box of this video that I'm making right now in the haunted auction that I do sometimes on Thursday nights. So definitely keep an eye out for that if you're interested in having a box by me. As you can see, I've already used this box for some things. There's wax in it already. But this time it's going to be used for something a little different. I'm pretty excited. Okay, so we got the dybbuk box open here. The first thing we're going to do is put our main item in that we know has an attachment. Well, in this case, this item is attached to an individual. This item does not have an attachment. But that is okay. I'm showing you guys how to make a dybbuk box. So if you believe you have a cursed item, you've come across something that has a really scary something you want to keep far, far away where it won't hurt you or somebody else, then you would put that item in here. I'm going to put this voodoo doll in here, which again, that I have tied to somebody. Alright, so we're going to just put that down here in the middle. We're going to then take some witch's grass and just kind of razzle dazzle it right over top of this little doll. We're going to then take a pinch of some mugwort and just go around here. Now I actually need my blood burrs for something else going on, so I'm only going to use one for this video here. So this is a loaded blood burr. Again, this is wax that was charged for my intention that I had, which I'm not going to state that out loud right now. And it does have some of my blood from my body in it. I'm very into blood magic. I believe that blood should be incorporated into anything and everything that we do. It's just that much stronger to take a piece from us, something that keeps us alive, and seal everything with it. So not only am I going to put a blood burr inside this box, but I'm going to drop a few drops of my blood in the candle wax that I'm going to use to seal the box later. Now you can use your own salt, or you can use some kind of sea salt or rocked up salt. Try and use something closest to its whole form as you can. I'm going to use something here that was made specially for me. I love this batch, so I think it's important that maybe I use some of this kind of salt here. And we don't need a lot, but we want to make sure that it gets on the item. I think it's important for you guys to know that the more that you saturate these things over the item that's in the box, the more weight you put on it, the heavier these things are going to feel tied down. Remember, the entity is not inside this voodoo doll. It's not inside of your haunted object. It is attached to it. It follows it. It's the protector of that object. So what we're pretty much doing is we're making it harder for that entity to be able to just touch this without touching something else that is intention fueled for keeping that something away. Now, although that might sound pretty complex, I think a lot of you guys out there get it. Every single item here at my altar has been charged. How do you charge something? I can take something like that glass right there. I can rub my intentions into it. It will be used for that. So I just go through everything, every stone, everything I have here is charged for something. It means something. Some things are just charged to intensify certain spells. Okay guys, it's starting to rain out, so I'm going to do this very quickly. You see the items are inside here. I have added all our stuff that we want to add. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut the box now. Alicia's helping me film, so thank you, Alicia. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the wax and we're going to go around the entire thing. Make sure you go around these edges here. Back up with the camera a little bit, it's getting wet. I want to make sure that we go around the sides. As you'll see, it's starting to drip down here on the sides. Make sure we go all the way around it. And then what we want to do, let that just dry for a second. Just a little bit. And then just start dousing it on top again. Building up the layers. Then I'm going to just do a little bit extra over the lock area. We'll let that go up a little bit. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay guys, if it's a little bit windy, I apologize. The weather's starting to pick up out here. That's what it looks like. It is now sealed. So what we would do at this point is we would say a little bit of a prayer or some witchified words depending on what we're trying to do here. Little side view of the box. Little back view of the box. In Jesus' name we pray. Please keep this entity, this attachment tied to this box. Do not let the entity stray from the box. Keep it with the box. We are going to bury this far, far away. We are going to bury it very, very deep. This entity has caused trouble. It has hurt people. It hurts people. It is evil. It is known to cause problems in families, in relationships, with love and health. We ask you, Lord, to watch over this box and keep this entity tied to it. As you can see, it is sealed. It's going to be a lot harder to open this now. And what we really want to do is we want to take this box and we want to bury it far, far away. The next thing to do, guys, would be to take the box and bury it deep, deep in the woods. That's what I would do. I'm not going to do it in this video, but you guys out there that want to do this, that need to do this, that's what you would do. That would be your last and final step. Take the box, dig a deep hole, put it out there, forget about it, and let it be. Nobody will find this thing if you bury it in the right place. I ask the gods, I ask the universe, I ask all spirits, all entities, if I've worked with you before, if I have any relationship with you, I ask that you please guard this entity that is attached to this box. Make sure it cannot leave this box. Make sure that the curse inside this box stays with this box for eternity. Guys, here's our box right here. It is now finished. As you see, it was actually pretty easy to do. What's really going to be the most important part of this whole spell, of this whole sealing, is that you guys believe it, that you put your heart into it, that you really put your emotions into it. A lot of people that feel they need to go to the extent of doing this are really in fear for their life. They are really dealing with some heavy stuff. So you probably already have that passion that you need. Intention is a very powerful thing. When we put things out in this universe, whether it be bad words or actions, these things can manifest evil. They can manifest positivity. It just depends. So keep that in mind. I hope you like this video. Be sure to leave a like, leave comments below, share, grab your Hunting the Dead merchandise at htd4life.com. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Guys, until next time, it's Jody Dean, Mr. Hunting the Dead. Sweet nightmares.